So let me show you how to make this beautiful cute pot holder from an old cloth. You can decide to use any fabric you have. It doesn't have to be an old cloth. And the recommended or the required fabric for a pot holder is 100% cotton fabric, but in this case I didn't use a cotton fabric, but I had to double it up. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is the old cloth I'm going to be using for this I almost said recipe that I'm using for this DIY. And just grab any circle, maybe a plate, a bowl, anything that can give you a circle as big as you want. Go ahead and trace it out. The fabric is actually layered. This is because I'm not using a cotton fabric, so it's double. So I'll use it and trace out another 2, making it 4. Now we have 4 circles. So now I need to cut out half circle, so I'm going to use one of these, fold it into 2 to trace out my half circle. But I want this beautiful carton to be in front of my mitten, what is it, pot holder. So I'm going to trace it out, making sure I'm just going to cut out the buttons of the dress, then make sure that the carton is well positioned. There we go. So I also want this pocket here to be also in front of my pot holder. All these are not necessary, but I just want it to be cute. So now I have pockets and I have carton in front of them. So cut it into 4. I have 4 half circles and I have 4 circles. So this strip here is for finishing it. I'll show you how to use it. So you also need this is called wadding, and you can get it from any tailoring material shop. So I've already gone ahead to trace out the circle I need. I use this other big circle to trace it out. It's called wadding. You can get it from any tailoring material shop. So I'm just going to go ahead now and lay it to first, then I'll now place the wadding. This is to make sure that the heat doesn't get to your hand, and I'll now cover it with another 2. Then what I'll be doing is I'll go ahead and stitch it round, and I'll bring it back to show you guys. You can use hand needle, you can use sewing machine, anyone that you have. So now I've stitched it down, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and mark down some lines that I'm going to stitch on them. This is totally optional, but it's going to make the fabric, the wadding, everything to be well stitched together, and it will also give it a beautiful look. So I'll go ahead and stitch on top of all this line, and I'll bring it back and show us. Okay, now I've stitched it, but as you can see, I skipped some of the line because I realized it was too close to each other, so I skipped some of them. So what I'll be doing next is to use to stitch the half circles. Just pick 2 and stitch it together all the way around. So I'm just going to go ahead and stitch it, and I'll bring it back for you to see what it looks like. So now, as you can see, I've stitched it already. I've stitched it down, and what I'll be doing next is to use this I'll be using this strip here to close the edges. I'm supposed to use this strip I cut out, but I want to use a contrast color that is matching the carton. This is totally optional, but when you use a contrast color, it makes it look more beautiful. So I'm using a contrast color that matches the carton, as you can see. So what you're going to do is simply to hold it this way. You place it on the right side of the fabric, and you stitch it down. After stitching it down, you flip it to the front and you top stitch. That's all you need to do. I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll bring it back for you guys to see. Okay guys, here I've obviously covered the edge with this strip, and what we'll be doing next is to place it on the wrong side of the big circle, just like this, and I'll go ahead and stitch it all the way around. I'll stitch it all the way around first. After stitching it around, I will also use the same strip, the contrast color strip, to close the edges round. You can use the same matching fabric, it doesn't matter, but I just want it to come out well. And as you can see, I've gone ahead to do that, and our pot holder has pockets. The only regret I have is the back. I would have also used a contrast color instead of using white. Is this not looking beautiful? And I also attached a little strip so that you can hang it whenever you're done using it instead of just dropping it on the table. Please kindly leave us a thumbs up if you find this video helpful. If it's your first time here, you're most welcome. We are glad to have you. Please do consider subscribing and turn on your bell notification so you don't get to miss any of my videos. And for my return subscribers, you guys are amazing. Thank you for the love. I really appreciate. You can as well click on the link above to check out my other DIY videos. I trust you're going to find something useful over there. And please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, share, and I would love to see you in my next video. Now you have a pot holder where you can hide some things.